Hello, this is Hot Moms and Hormones, and I'm Shannon.
And I'm Crystal.
Hello, everybody. This week we have our drink of the week is what?
My favorite, lavender daiquiri.
You had this at your wedding, didn't you?
We had it at
Or
the wedding reception.
Yeah.
And apparently everybody else loved it too because
Yeah, they were good.
we went through 3 gallons.
Oh, dang.
I may have gone through a gallon myself. I don't really remember at the end of the night.
Well, at your reception, I remember I had a couple of those, and Walter's daughter was the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, me, my husband, and I think you and Chris were in on it. I can't remember by then.
Oh yeah.
Walter,
Fireball shots.
Yep. And Walter and his wife, and we were we got into the fireball
because I found a bucket of fireball shots that was in like some sort of barrel or something that your husband wanted.
Yeah, we still have it.
Yeah. So so as soon as he found that barrel, he was like, well, we got to go through all these shots so I can have the barrel. So
and then when we ended up taking it, we got home and it actually had, because he thought, he was like, yeah, it's empty. He was kind of throwing it around in the air, He's like, yeah, it's empty. So then we got home and there was still a little bit of the fireball left in a bag because it was in a bag inside.
Oh, that's right. Right. That's right.
And I think we even told you, hey, there's a little bit left. And I don't drink Fireball. That night I was. But I usually don't. I'm not a Fireball. Now, what is it? Jack Fire.
Okay.
That it goes down a little smoother than Fireball.
Well, that can be drinks for another day because I also love, I'm not a huge, just take shots of Fireball. Like, obviously that night we did. But I really like, I call it an Angry Bird.
What's that?
It's like Angry Orchard, like your apple cider, your hard apple cider with a shot of Fireball in it.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be for another day. Today's topic is, how's your symptoms? So on our Hot Moms and Hormones journey, we were going to discuss some of the symptoms that we've been having, how it's impacting us, and then you guys feel free to join in the conversation and comment and let us know how it's going for y'all and what y'all are going through. But we're hoping that y'all will feel like you're not alone at the end of this, seeing that
I'm just always tired. Like, that is my main, I guess, symptom.
That definitely falls under the, so fatigue and can't sleep are both kind of go hand in hand. So I live my life exhausted, but then when I lay down to go to
wide
sleep,
awake.
I can't go to sleep.
Yeah.
My mind won't shut off.
Yeah.
And then I start remembering, oh, by the way, I remember what I needed to add to my Walmart list. So let me do that. It's just like my brain won't shut off.
Well, and like I told my doctor the other day, because I had a doctor's appointment, and I was like, I don't know if it's stroke brain or menopause brain,
Yep.
And so, because they're always like, well, how's your brain doing since my stroke and everything? And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me, is this stroke brain or is this menopause brain?
Okay. But on that note, what happened yesterday?
I don't know what happened yesterday.
I was trying to describe to you, a cake pop mold.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't come up with the word popsicle. I was trying to draw you a picture of it with my hands. The thingy, and then you put a stick in it, and the thingy, and it goes like this.
Yeah.
I couldn't come up with the word popsicle.
And that's what happens to me. And so, and I thought it was stroke brain. Because, I couldn't, remember the name, what we call something.
Mm-hmm.
I know I drink out of that, but it's a glass, or a cup or whatever. But, I mean, if you're doing it, it must be part of the menopause brain.
And so on that note, according to my doctors, so I'm 44 and you're 47.
Uh-huh.
So we're not that far
Thanks
apart.
to call me out like that. No, I'm just kidding.
It's about being upfront and honest and transparent here.
No, age doesn't. I don't care about it.
But according to my doctors, I'm perimenopause.
Okay.
So I'm still in the
You've got a long way to go.
Exactly. But you only 3 years, so to say, ahead of me.
Yeah. In age, yeah.
They're in physical age, they're saying that you're kind of on the ass end of it, right?
Yeah.
Which is great for you.
And great for Gary.
So, but does that really mean that we're 4 years apart? Because like we don't know when we started this journey either.
Yeah. Well, and I think I've said on previous podcasts that, I started my period when I was 9 years old.
Okay, well, I was 12.
So
maybe
I'm 3 years ahead of you there, too.
There you go.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah, and each of my girls, they started pretty early. I'm not going to throw their age out there because they may get a little upset, but they were young also. And so they'll probably, start going through it early too. And even like I could have swore I was going through I don't know if you can still get pregnant if you're going through the perimenopause.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but I was having the hot flashes and the mood swings and all of that right when I got pregnant with Skyla. So I know I've been going through it for a while. Like,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was waking up, sweat, all that
so
kind of
stuff.
stuff.
So I had some other symptoms come up earlier. So yes, tired, fatigue is definitely a symptom, but also is not being able to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever journey, whatever side of that, line you have, both are symptoms. And as I clearly have both.
Yeah.
I wake up, I'm exhausted, I'm tired throughout the day, and then I lay down to go to sleep and I can't fall asleep. I also can't stay asleep.
Yeah. I can't stay asleep.
I also have that 3 o'clock witching hour.
Yep.
That's also a normal thing that I've read about.
Yep.
With the period, like 3 o'clock witching hour, but maybe that's just
Well, and apparently, according to my mom, since I was born, I've hated to sleep. Like, just hated it. So,
oh no, I love to sleep.
Yeah, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. My body hates it. Apparently, she said. I mean, ever since I was a baby, it was hard for me to stay asleep. I didn't like to sleep. I wanted to be up and in the middle of everything. FOMO? I guess.
Fear of missing out.
I guess. I don't know, but and I'm still like that. I mean, see, Gary, he has sleep apnea. And so he's up and down all night long. And me, I'm getting better with being able to fall asleep. But it's once I'm asleep, staying asleep.
Yeah.
And so there's many nights.
But Gary I don't get up, though.
I don't either.
Okay.
I don't get out of bed.
Yeah, I don't either.
And there's lots of times where I'll lay there for a good while. And if I still can't go back to sleep, then I grab my phone. I don't reach for my phone as soon as I wake up because I'm like, I'm going to try to go back to sleep. And so Gary, I don't know how many times he'll roll over, and because his sleep apnea wakes him up, and he'll go, "It's 2 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock. What are you doing awake?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I can't sleep." And then I'm up for like 2 to 3 hours.
I will say that I have noticed that now that you mention it, the only time I actually grab my phone after laying there for what feels like forever, right? But I'm not counting.
It could be 5 minutes.
It could be 5 minutes, but it feels like it's been an hour, right?
Yeah.
Is when Chris isn't here, when Chris is out of town. That's the only time I'll reach for my phone.
Yeah.
And it's not anything, having to do with Chris, but it's more so like I think I tend to fall back to sleep faster when he is here, except for this weekend because we've had an extra dog.
Oh, yeah. But he's so cute.
5 dogs in the bed with
see, that's
2
your fault.
grown-ass humans.
That's your fault for letting 5 dogs
so we
in
have
your bed.
2 grown-ass, not tiny humans, a 90-pound dog, 2 40-pound dogs, a 15-pound baby, and then a 30-pound rock. Because, Maverick the Frenchie, he's so wide in his chest. He Winston's tiny and he'll curl up in a tiny ball. And even Lily, the 90-pound Cane Corso, she will curl up, right? Maverick's fat ass can't. I don't know if you've ever seen this dog try to lay down. If he lays on his side, the one arm on the top still sticks out.
That's funny.
Like he can't get his arms together like a dude that's chest and arms are too big. Yeah, that's Maverick. So Maverick's like sprawled out like a frog, taking up as much space as the Cane Corsos. Yeah. Anyway, so
a Jagger.
So this is a sweet Jagger. But he goes to his new forever home in a couple of days in Louisiana. He'll be a swamp dog.
Oh.
But so I do notice that when Chris is here, I can just kind of roll over and snuggle, and I think I just get a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
So I can go to sleep faster.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I end up neading to reach for my phone when he's not here, because
Yeah, you don't have that comfort of him laying next to you.
So
Yeah. I know Gary, if I can get to sleep before Gary, which is very hard because Gary falls asleep within 3 breaths. I'm not that quick with it. But I have to be like really super tired. Like tonight, which he's not feeling good, so he'll probably be asleep before I even get home.
But you won't have a problem sleeping because you've been working so hard.
Yeah,
and running around
outside and working,
especially
with the
heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully I'll be able to sleep good tonight. But
and you were talking about brain fog, so I wanted to transition to that one because that is another. And I'm with you. Like, I don't know, is that my lupus, right?
Yeah.
Because I was diagnosed with lupus 10 years ago, and that is a symptom of lupus. But I actually, and so thank you to you, Shannon, because of this podcast and our conversations, I've actually noticed a difference in my brain fog. And so I think I can tell.
Jagger just opened the chair for you.
Jagger just pushed the button to recline my chair as I'm sitting in it on the couch here. Which at some point, if we ever have our show on YouTube, you'll get to see, not only enjoy and listen to the entertainment, but see as well.
And we're getting there. We were going to do it tonight, but she didn't say that she was dressed for YouTube, and
we all have to welcome ourselves appropriately, and then maybe
the first time,
at least the first few times, maybe if we get comfortable enough, we'll end up just being in our jammies.
But today I came over with holes in my sweatpants and a just a regular t-shirt. I'm surprised I got a bra on, but I knew Chris was here. That's why I put a bra on.
It's actually a cute shirt though.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stop pushing my buttons over here, bro. So, I have noticed a difference in my brain fog. So I think with my perimenopause, I have a bit more of what you're stating, like what happened last night. With the perimenopause, I have more forgetfulness. Like, I will be in the middle of having a conversation and in the middle of telling a story or a sentence, and I did it just earlier. And I'm like, oh, where was I going with that? And I literally have to trace back, okay, what were we talking about? What was said? And it sometimes may take 10 seconds, sometimes may take a minute for me. And I will get frustrated with it. I will get real frustrated that I can't remember. So versus the saying kiver when I'm trying to talk too fast and kidney and liver, or I don't know if I told you the other one, the aft in a minute. Like, my brain was trying to process, someone asked me to do something, and I'm like, after I finish this in a minute, and it just kind of came out aft in a minute, And anytime I do that stupid shit, those just become normal words in any conversation now.
Well, and like Gary, I mean, he throws words together. He'll put 2 words together like you did with the kiver, kidney and liver.
So maybe that's just because we're all getting old.
Maybe cool. Because he does it with names. So so like we had a friend a few years ago. They were together, and it was Jim and Lou. Well, he said Lou and Jim. Wait a minute. Her name was Lou. Her name was Laura, but we called her Lou. His name was Jim. Well, he was in the mid-conversation, and he goes, Lemon Jew. And I went, who? He goes, Lemon Jew. And I went, who the fuck is Lemon Jew? And I said, you mean Lou and Jim? And then he did it just not too long ago with our friends Ann and Jay. He goes, Jan and A.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I went, you mean Ann and Jay?
Well, what did Chris just say before he walked out the door? I'm going shirt. What did he say?
I'm going to go ride my shirt with no motorcycle and no helmet.
That's it. I'm going to go ride my shirt with no motorcycle and no helmet. So, I mean, maybe our men are going through their own
perimenopause and
menopause.
Yeah.
I hope it'll balance out their testosterone too.
Right.
So I think, fatigue, can't sleep, brain fog. So I just want to be very, very clear. that hot flashes and night sweats are two totally different things.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I would be sitting on the couch like before my stroke. And like I said, I don't know if my stroke had anything to do with it, but a lot of my symptoms went away after my stroke. It was really weird. But anyway, I'd be sitting on the couch and like, because as soon as I get home from work, my bra comes off. I change into pajama pants and a t-shirt.
I mean, have you not heard the thing like when someone texts you to do something in the evening? Nope, bra's off.
Yeah. And so we'd be sitting there watching TV, and Gary would just look over, and I'd have my shirt up over my head and my pants pulled down. He's like, "Are you hot?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'm hot."
You're like, "Yeah, isn't that why you married me?"
Yeah. And
so my mother-in-law, she calls it her personal summer.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, "Don't mind me. I'm just having my personal summer over here. It's fine."
Yeah.
It's like Texas weather. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah. No kidding.
So yeah, those are two different things. I have not yet experienced hot flashes.
Oh.
And I know that from my mother-in-law, from speaking with you and, you know, some other friends that have been through it, but I get the night sweats. And like you said, I mean, I will wake up, need to take a shower. Like, you know, I took a shower before I went to bed, you know, and yeah. So night sweats and hot flashes are two.
Jagger. Don't you be chewing on that pillow.
They are unfortunately two different things.
Yes.
So
yes, they are.
To let everyone know who is not yet there.
Yes. Just wait. It's lovely. It's lovely being a woman.
I think it sucks because I remember thinking, oh, well, that'll be great because when I get to the end of it, I won't have a period, you know, because those suck and how painful those are and stupid and irritating and annoying and, you know, all of the not kind words you can say.
Yeah.
But then I had my hysterectomy. So I'm like, well, shit, now I don't have a period, but I still have to go through all this?
Yep. Yep. Well, and
this is just stupid.
Yeah. Well, and that's what, you know, when you go to your doctor, because like me, I kept going to my doctor and I kept going, hey, you know, something's going on. I'm night sweats. I'm, you know, hot all the time. Well, not all the time, but I'd have the hot flashes and blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, you're too young. You're too young. You're too young. Your hormones are fine. Your hormones are fine. You're too young. You're too young. And I finally, so I think I've said this on an earlier podcast, you know, my period got to be 2 months long and bleeding nonstop, you know, and heavy. And I had the Mirena in.
Yeah.
And so that's not.
Yeah, you shouldn't have one with
that.
Yeah.
That doctor was like, well, I'm just going to take it out and put a new one in. Are we not going to kind of see maybe what the issue is?
Yeah. Okay. That side note, pause, sidetrack for 2 seconds. That's a whole nother conversation we can have a topic on. Is doctors, how they just treat symptoms instead of finding the underlying cause, and we having to be our own self-advocates, because we were talking about this the other day. But anyways, continue on. So yes. Yeah. So you're frustrated because he just wants to treat your symptom and you know, give you a new one and not actually figure out why, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, no, I mean, you can take it out, but I don't want to put another one in just yet until we figure out what's going on.
We're still talking about Mirenas here.
Yep. Yes. And so, and then I went and found another doctor, and he actually like listened to me and was like, okay, you know, what do you want to do? And I was like, listen, I've had my period since I was 9. I'm 40. So at that time I was 44, 45, something like that.
So my age. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And I was like, I'm not having any more kids. I have grandkids. My oldest was at the time, my youngest, Skyla, was 13. And I was like, I'm done having kids. Get this period done. I want to be done with it. I've had it since I was 9. And he was like, okay, which he ran tests, you know, to make sure everything was okay and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
So that's when you had your hysterectomy?
Yep. And I had it on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yep, exactly.
So I had to have one because, well, she wasn't sure. I say she, my OB-GYN. And I do have one that I love. And she does a great job of listening to me. And she actually is upfront and honest. Because another thing about going through this is anytime you see a doctor, they're going to test your hormones and tell you that they're normal. Because the range of normal is so broad, dramatic. Yeah. But also, it depends on what part of your cycle you're in. on what your normal range is.
Oh,
And
okay.
most people can't tell you where they are in their cycle.
Yeah.
You know, life's life, right? We get busy. You
Yeah.
know, I used to have an app and I'd just click a button
The
and say
Flow
I
app.
started.
When it Flow. When
I just have whatever came on my iPhone.
Oh, okay.
I just have whatever came on my iPhone, which is really cool. If you want to take the time and go in there, you can actually track symptoms and things
Okay.
like that. But I was just trying to track if it was normal as far as the timing because of perimenopause and all of that. And mine was always normal as far as timing, but not normal as far as flow. And mine was super, super painful.
Yeah.
So that's where we started having, God dang it. This dog keeps pushing buttons, guys. Sorry. He's about to knock over the whole coffee table that has our lavender daiquiris on it. So that would be a party foul, right?
Yes.
So she was really great and said, listen, when it comes to that, I will treat symptoms because, you know, the range of normal is so great. But I ended up having a fibroid and adenomyosis.
Oh, okay.
So I did have, but anyways.
Yeah, Caitlin, I think it's Caitlin. She took after me because I had really bad periods where I cramped and, you know, I would be up. If I started cramping when I was laying down, like in bed in the middle of the night, I'd have to get up and walk all night long.
I couldn't walk with mine.
Depended.
I would be balled up like a baby. I would be in the fetal position.
Well, Caitlin
with
took
the
after
heating
me.
pad and
Caitlin took after me with all that. She has the really bad periods where they hurt and cramps and, you know, all of that. Skyla hasn't complained about cramps or anything, so hopefully she didn't take after me with that. So
hopefully.
Yeah.
Wow. So the next one's fun.
What is it?
Rage. The menopause rage. And actually I sent you a TikTok earlier.
I am a great person. I never have rage. I'm totally.
Listen, my husband and I, we are not allowed to lie to each other. I think you and I should just implement that rule right now because that's some bullshit, Shannon. Oh, wait, are we having a podcast or playing the game bullshit? Stop. But I mean, I think the rage is so funny because it can be. Remember that I don't know if you remember the TikTok I sent you the other day. That's another love language, by the way. Is I send TikToks. That's a love language, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And then what was the lady? It was like everything was done, and then, or it even happened to me tonight. Like she's just going. It's like, okay, everything's done. You know, I'm about to go relax and sit down. Laundry, dishes are done, and then she walks up to the sink, and like her family. There's like 4 new dishes, and it's just like,
yeah.
That happened to me tonight. I had a bunch of dishes that I had to put up, so I did that. Then I had some in the sink, so I did those because I had made a mess this morning trying to make coffee and spilt the entire sugar container. And so, and then as I'm getting done, you walked in right at that time where I'm finishing, the dishes are done, and what does my husband do? Pull out a pizza, chop up some chicken to put on the pizza, get out all, I'm like, bro. And so I don't think mine is an irritation, which that's another comment that we have is irritating noises.
Yes.
But I think there's irritation in general. I think mine is still in the irritation stage. But I think as we get further along, it can become a bit of a. Okay, let's just be honest. It will become a bit of a rage.
It will. Well, and that's like, you know, the kids or even Gary, you know, they just won't leave you alone. And then when you finally, you know, start yelling, then they're looking at you like, what's wrong? I didn't do nothing. I didn't say anything.
Well. That's a little bit of a different topic because I've had that issue with my children since they were born. It's like, why do you only listen to me when I scream?
Yeah.
You didn't listen when I asked you 47 times with my gentle parenting, you know.
With my gentle parenting. I don't think I ever had gentle parenting, but
it doesn't work. Let me tell you, you're gonna end up screaming.
That's
but
funny.
yeah, I mean, like same thing. But
I know
guess
Preston's the one that really does it to me. He'll just, he just won't listen and won't listen and won't listen, and I'll go, hey, clean your room, please.
I think that's
Preston.
a male thing.
Yeah, Preston, please clean your room. Preston, I said, fucking clean your room, please. Preston. And then I'll just like lose it and just start yelling, and I'll go in and just start throwing stuff, and he's going, what's wrong with you? Yeah. It's like, why do you do this to me?
You are what's wrong with me.
Yeah. I'm like, why do you do this to me? Why?
Yeah.
The girls aren't so bad with it, but
Well,
Preston, yes.
I only had 2 boys, so
Yeah, well.
I guess I'll never know.
Boys are different than girls. I will say that.
So next up on the list, which I actually is depression and anxiety. Before I start like blah, blah, blah. Depression and anxiety. So I have actually struggled with depression. Started around the age of 12, ironically or not. Also when I started my period, right? And I never experienced anxiety until my mom died when I was 33. And I think I said this on our last podcast, or one of the prior ones, like I literally thought I was having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And it was just so crazy. And then I realized, and now I can really see the difference and understand what anxiety is. But yeah, I hadn't experienced that before. And so, and it gets a little worse, when you're going through all this. I also think, to your point, that your stroke trigger some things, and then some of your symptoms got better after that. I do think there are life moments, whether they be a stroke, which is a traumatic incident, or a traumatic incident of losing your mom. Okay, yeah, I was 33. I'm technically a grown-ass adult, but like we all still need our mom, and she was only 55.
Oh, wow.
And it was very sudden. She had bipolar and congestive heart failure.
Oh, dang.
And basically her heart stopped because her congestive heart failure, the fluid built up around her heart. And so it was very sudden, unexpected. And so like, I do think there are those moments where things in life trigger. I don't know what triggered my lupus, but I know my sister has an autoimmune disease that was triggered by a kidney stone incident. She had kidney stones so bad that she ended up in the hospital and stuff. So I do think that there are things that trigger that. But so I don't know if it just happened to be like maybe I started perimenopause, or maybe that's what kicked me into perimenopause. And so, or if my mom's death, just the anxiety rose from it or whatever. But the depression and anxiety are like real things that, and I know we've said this before, but don't sit in it, right? Like definitely if you're having those symptoms, understand what's going on. And like you said, with your body, getting your testings, talking to your doctor, finding someone who will listen, being your own self-advocate.
Because that's my big thing. Because like I had to have a conversation with Caitlin, because Caitlin and Preston have taken after me with the whole depression, anxiety thing. Skyla, she's good. But with Caitlin, I had to tell her, you can't just sit in it. But yes, there are days where where I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do anything with the kids when they were little. I didn't want to have to get up and get them ready for school and get them on the bus and get them to school. And I just wanted to lay in bed and not do anything. But I also told myself, okay, if I don't get up now and get my kids off to school, then they're going to be, I don't want to sound mean, but they're going to be up my butt all day long.
Yeah, no, I was hoping that's where you were going to go, because that's where I was. Yeah, I was like, well, wait, hold on, am I having asshole thoughts right now? Because that's what I was thinking. Yeah, so we're on the same page. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, and also I have a husband that knows that I have depression and anxiety. And so if I'm laying in bed longer than normal, he's like, all right, what's going on? Come on, let's get up. Let's do this. And I had to tell Caitlin.
Which is irritating. Back to the irritating.
Yes.
Sometimes it's irritating.
Yes. And
you appreciate the love.
Yes. Yeah.
But you're like.
Yeah. Well, and I told him, so the other day, actually it was just like yesterday or today, I can't remember. He goes, oh, it was last night. We were getting ready for bed, getting all the animals put up and everything. And
no,
I yelled at one of the dogs.
You lying again. Because we didn't get in off the boat till like 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, that would have been this morning, not last night.
Well, this morning then. And we were getting all the dogs ready to be put back, to bed and everything. And one of the dogs did something stupid and I got mad. And he goes, hey, calm down. I said, you know what? I love it when you tell me to calm down.
Words of affirmation. Because that's not how I would respond. I would say, let me tell you something. Don't ever tell a crazy person to calm down.
And he goes, and he kind of looked at me and I went, yes, honey, I just love it when you tell me to calm the fuck down. And he goes, calm your tits. And I went, nope, that's not any better.
No. Rest your chest.
Oh, see, we say calm your tits.
No, that's what we say too. But my sister has small children, and so she tries to find more appropriate ways to say things.
Yeah.
So she says things like fudge.
Okay.
And rest your chest.
Okay. Yeah, see, I didn't do that. My kids, when they were little, it was calm your tits,
Yeah. So sidebar, our approach to that was, these are adult words, and when you're an adult, you can use them, right? Just like you don't go to school till you're 5. You've got to learn how to ride a bike when you're older.
Yep.
You don't drive until you're 16. You can't drink until you're 21, unless you're in Australia.
Yeah.
Depending on what country you're in. I think, what is it, 15 in Mexico? I think
I don't know.
18 in Australia.
Yeah, it is 18 in Australia.
Things like that. So you're not legally an adult till 18. Like, there's certain things. And so we took the approach of like, hey, we're still going to be adults. We're still going to do our thing. And also that may help them learn how to use the words,
Yeah.
Because when my oldest was little, and this was before this was kind of the moment that led us into like having a conversation of like, what are we going to do and how are we going to approach this kind of a thing, is we hadn't really thought about it before this, but he was just playing with his little Hot Wheels cars, and then all of a sudden he throws it down and he goes, fuck. And I was like,
who is this?
Ethan, my oldest.
Oh, okay.
And I looked at him and I was like, no, we don't say that. And he looked at me like real confused, like,
yeah.
Well, then what? And I was like, oh, we say "all man," like real fast thinking.
Yeah.
Which that was pre-perimenopause, obviously, if it was fast thinking. So I kid you not, for 3 days straight, this kid, everywhere we went, which he went to a Lutheran daycare, okay? Everyone he saw, we know say fuck. We say "all man." We know say fuck. We say "all man." I was like, oh God. I was trying not to make a big deal out of it,
Yeah.
So that prompted the conversation of like, well, what do we do? So then we started, well, those are adult words, so that's where that started. So yeah, similar approach. We just didn't like hide it or anything. So I think there's one kind of big topic. The last one I have on our list. It's everyone's favorite.
What's that?
Weight gain.
Oh, well, there's weight gain and then there's your libido.
Oh, we didn't even put that on the list. I would say those are probably the two biggest complaints that any woman would have, is the weight gain and then libido. And they probably go hand in hand, right? Because when you gain weight, you typically lose confidence.
Yeah, and you don't feel sexy and you don't,
Which is that just because the world has told us?
Exactly.
That I've had to relearn to love I really had to relearn,
Well,
not relearn. I mean, I just had to learn how to, in general, love myself and realize that my value was not a number on the scale, because I have been 127 pounds. You know, my goal was always 130, and I've been 127 pounds and not happy.
Yeah.
And I've been where I am now, big and not happy.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like I was even more unhappy with my size and figure and this, that, and the other at 127 pounds, because at least where I am now, I'm like, oh, but I like my boobies, or I like my butt, which that's not, I'm using examples here.
Yeah.
But, you know, I feel like at least there's some things. And so I've kind of learned to love myself. But
well, that's like yesterday. So yesterday was July the 4th. And
which is why we were out on the boat so late, because of all the fireworks shows.
And Skyla, me and Gary, we did not have a party, get together, cookout, whatever. Skyla did. She had like friends over, and which is fine, you know. And she had, I don't know, I think there were like 8 or 9 kids, teenagers out in the pool swimming, you know, whatever. And
way to go, her little outgoing.
Yeah. And I was watching them. I didn't like stand at the window and watch the whole time, but I just happened to look out there.
Creepy McCreepster.
Yeah. And I just happened to look out there, and, you know, and Skyla, she's not skinny by no means. Like, because when I was Skyla's age, even when I was Caitlin's age or Preston's age, I only weighed 94 or 95 pounds. I just wasn't big. And
I think I weighed that when I was 12.
When I got pregnant with Preston, I was 94 pounds and I was 21.
But you were in the military, so you had a lot of PT that you had to do.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with it. I was just a small person. It took me years to even hit 80 pounds, like when I was younger. Like I just didn't gain weight.
So you just have a small frame.
Yeah, and I could eat.
I got the big bones.
I would, like, my favorite, they don't even make them anymore. I think they're coming back, but Suzy Q's, like the Hostess.
The little,
Suzy
yeah.
Q's. I used to be able to eat a whole box of those, like 3 boxes a day, and not, you know, gain nothing. And so anyway, I was looking out at the pool yesterday, and I was watching Skyla and all of her friends and everything. And all of Skyla's friends are like skinny, like short, petite, little skinny girls, you know. And Skyla, she's not skinny and petite. And I looked at Gary and I said, you know, I have raised 2 very confident girls in their skin, in their looks, in their
bodies.
Yeah, in their bodies.
And absolutely.
And I wish I could say I was, but for me not being confident in my body and my skin, I have raised 2 girls.
We were raised in different times, where the 17 magazine, and here goes that fucking brain. I don't know.
There was Teen Beat. There was
no.
17.
Okay, not what they did with the photos. Oh, they altered them.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so we had unrealistic expectations, because these models that they were showing us, you know, to be like, were all altered. You know, the pictures that we were seeing in the magazines and everything were altered. And on that note, if you look back further, in the Roman era, do you know that it was the bigger, lush ladies like myself that were sought after?
Really?
Because that meant you were well fed.
Oh.
Which also meant that you either had money or you had good crops, good farms, right? So you were...
Makes sense.
Right. It does make sense. And so I think that does show how society plays, you know, as you're raised, a huge role. And we are in a little bit of a different society from when we were young and teenagers and up and coming.
Yeah.
And so, not to negate you in any way, like, yes, you and Gary did a great job of building these confident women. So good for you. but we have kind of moved into a more accepting,
and
realistic.
Yeah.
We'll see where that goes with AI, but
yeah, exactly.
Like, is this our circular moment, right? Are
our
we
circle
about
of life or whatever you want to call it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There is one thing that you said on one of your previous podcasts with Laramie, and you were talking about how, you didn't want your girls to need a man or want a man, and they were going to know how to change a tire and this, that, and the other. And I didn't have girls, so I can't say that I would have been this way, but I do remember listening to that and thinking, if I had had girls, there is another approach to that, which is still also like, either way, it sets their future man up for some fun shit. And so there's your approach, which is great, right? Like, everyone should be strong, independent women because you don't need a man, you do want them, like, and that's a difference in being able to find your soulmate and everything. But there's the other approach where daddy does so much for them. Daddy treats them like a princess.
Well, and
so then they meet that guy. Well, my daddy will change my tire if you ain't going to come over here,
Well, and that's, so you say that, and that's funny that you bring it up, because with Caitlin, she does that with Cameron. She's like, well, my mom and dad spoiled the crap out of me, so now you have to.
There you go. There you go.
So yes, we did spoil the girls, but we also taught them how to do stuff, so.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Because I will tell
like
you,
me.
I'm not going to change a flat tire, but I do know that I can call that 1-800 number on the back of my driver's license in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And they can come help me.
Yeah, I'm not changing it either, because A, it's probably going to be too hot, or I don't want to get dirty, or.
But that's not true, because you were out working in the chicken coop earlier. So there's a level of degree of dirty you're willing to get.
Yes, yes.
And that's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband and I, actually, it's real funny. So he sought into joining the military at one point. And it was real funny when he took the ASVAB, because they were like, dude, you could have any job you want, like, except mechanics. They were like, anything, but you're not a mechanic. Like, that's not where you want to be. That's not your trunk. And so he has taken that on from there. And so we both agree on that. And there's no argument. It's like, oh, there's a flat tire. Cool. I can put a spare on, and then you got to go to discount. Or yep, the oil change. Yep, let's go ahead and we'll go get that done and see what else needs to be done. And so we are in agreement there. And then there's the fix it things around the house that we can do ourselves before we try to hire someone. But yeah. So pause. We're at my house tonight to kind of give you a visual, since we're not on YouTube yet. We're at my house, so where we only have, I'm going to say we only have 5 dogs.
Thanks.
And everyone was getting a little rowdy, so I let everyone out except little OG old man over there, Winston, who's my 11-year-old mini schnauzer. But
so sweet.
He's sweet, but he loves Shannon, I think, a little too much. He loves him some Shannon.
I know, he's always sitting by me now.
So if you heard any of that going on, she was trying to get him to have some space boundaries.
Yeah.
That's another thing that goes with the irritating noises and just the irritation is space boundaries. Boundaries in general, but space boundaries. Those are like this huge new thing for me. Like, not that I don't want to, like, I love to cuddle my husband and that sort of thing, but like, get out of my face. Like that, space boundaries is like a new thing.
Yeah, but see, with you and Chris, since he's not home every night because he's gone, when he is home, that's why. So today's what, Sunday?
Yeah,
we were together yesterday. So Friday, we were supposed to go out on the boat. Friday, and which Gary didn't feel good. He's coming. His sinuses are bothering him.
Yeah, no, that's your excuse. It's fine.
Shut up. And also, we're leaving Tuesday to go out of town, and so we're trying to get a lot of stuff done around the house. But anyway, he didn't really. Honestly, he didn't feel good Friday, and
he still doesn't today.
Yeah,
so yeah.
And I had told you, I was like, just go out with your husband. Just,
Well, because
Go-
he did get home Thursday night.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I know how it is. I mean,
But he
Gary's
isn't-
never away from the house.
And I think that, like, I hope this is just a phase of life that we're in, right? Like, it just is with his job. I mean, he's blue collar, construction jobs. And so it depends on the job that their company bids and gets, and wins, right? Because he was in town he was out of town for the beginning of our relationship, then was in town a lot, and now he's back out of town. And so it just kind of, but I think he's coming up with an understanding of a rotation. So he leaves Tuesday, and he straight up told, he's like, I will go for 1 month.
Damn.
I know, that's a long time. Well, he also has an expectation that I'm supposed to come out there. So
Okay. Well, there you go.
But again, they're staying in these cute little, living their best bachelor life cabins out there.
Mhm.
So, and it is dog friendly.
Okay.
So I do think I will go spend a weekend out there, take the dogs, and they've got these little
Winston can come stay with me.
Oh, okay. Winston can come stay with you.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So they have these little mini fishing pontoons that you can rent. So I think, we'll do that or whatever. And then I think there's going to be an understanding of some rotation. So, maybe hopefully one day he'll get a job, that's a little bit more, at least the location is consistent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see. Phases of life.
Yep.
Circles of life.
Well, that's like Gary. I mean, our first, 15, 16 years of marriage, he was on second shift.
Yeah, he was on night shift.
Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
I was pretty much a single, mom.
Mom, yep.
So
single married mom.
Yep, a single married mom. Yep.
I was too. So my first husband, so he was in the telephone industry, and they were union.
Okay. Yeah.
So they would go, and I still cannot. It's like really irritating me. If anyone listening to this podcast knows what I'm talking about, it was I can't remember what they called it, but it was basically forced overtime. It was mandatory something, blah, blah, blah. I can't think of it. But he was here in town, but they were on forced 7 days a week, 10-hour days.
Oh, damn.
So, so you had it on the other end of the spectrum where he was working nights, and Chris did that for one specific job site they were on. They were on nights. And he did that, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Because, they're working the same amount of hours, whether it's 8, 10, or 12, which, is a long time.
Gary was working about 16 hours.
Yeah. And then when do you sleep?
Yeah.
It's like, so between work and then the sleep, you literally have zero time with it.
No.
Zero.
No, because he would get home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be asleep, and he'd come to bed, and then I would get up at 6 o'clock to get the kids up and gone and everything. And then for the majority of that time, I didn't work.
Okay.
Because Skylar was still.
You mentioned that, right? That's nice. So then you could meet him for his breakfast, which was his lunch, or
no, it was on his way home,
dinner, or whichever way. Yeah.
And so, but he would still sleep until about an hour before he had to leave.
Yeah.
And then because he only got about 4 or 5 hours of sleep because he worked 16 hours.
Yeah.
And then where he worked and where we lived, it took a good 45 minutes to an hour to get home. And so by the time he got home, he was only home for about 5 hours.
Yep. Yeah.
And then
and he's going to sleep in there. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, when Chris was doing that, he was working 10 to 12 hour shifts. And so he would get home sometime between 5 and 7 in the morning. And so 5 in the morning, I'm still asleep. 7 in the morning, okay, I'll get up. And so Chris he's got to have his wind down time. You know?
That was Gary.
Yeah. And so, which, I mean, we all do, right? Like we all typically.
Yeah, we don't come home from work and go right to bed.
We come home from work and have our wind down time. And so by the time he would get in bed, and then, it's like 5, 6 hours of sleep. And depending on where the job site is or, So
when we first got married, I was just fresh out of active duty. And he worked 4 or 5 jobs. And so he would get about 3-4 hours of sleep a night, and that was it. And we had talked, and it's not that, you know, I was stingy or, you know, whatever. We made this conscious decision that I was going to stay home with the kids.
You do what's best for you and your
yeah,
family.
Because back then we had 2 kids in daycare.
Yeah.
You know, and my whole check was going to go to
Yep.
daycare. So what was the point of me working? So I just stayed home with the kids. And then we moved here to Texas, and, you know.
I remember Robert and I we were like, what did we, like, we had 2 kids in daycare. We had 2 kids in diapers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like,
yeah, because Ethan and Caleb were only like
19 months apart.
Okay.
19 months.
I was going to say 2 years.
Yeah.
But
almost Irish twins.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, we like, all this money that was going out the door, you know, we were like, what? And we didn't remember 2 years ago when we didn't have kids having a whole lot of extra money.
Yeah.
We were like, where did this money come from?
Yeah. Totally
So,
get it.
yeah, it's really hard. But I mean, I think phases of life obviously are just phases of life, but I think there's an added level of complication to them when you factor in this perimenopause and menopause, because, you know,
definitely.
Chris and I are newlyweds, right? Like, we'll be celebrating our 2-year anniversary later this year. And we're December babies too.
Yep.
I know y'all got married in December too, but
Yep.
you know, and so, like, yeah, okay,
And
we're
yours is 5
newlyweds.
days later, right?
So we're the 31st. Yeah, y'all are the 26th then?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, it adds a whole nother level of complication.
Yep.
Or, I don't know. I guess maybe that's the wrong choice of words, but. So I think that okay, so let's talk real quick. Because we kind of hit on the weight gain, which I think is the biggest, but like you said, the lack of libido, which can sometimes just in general come with the weight gain. But I think there's
you just get to where, and I don't know if it's like you just get so tired. You're tired because you've done so much during the day. And then whenever you get to bed, you know, you're like, I want it, but I don't want it, you know.
I don't know. I think sometimes in the perimenopause, there is you just don't want it.
Yes, I did go through that.
You know, and I don't, and I think in a relationship that's really hard, especially in a newlywed relationship, right? Like, it's not you, bro, it's me. And like, that's like the worst breakup line ever, right? Yeah. But it truly is, like, you know, it's not, I don't know, like, sometimes I don't want you to feel like less of a man. I just, you know, it's not that I don't want you, I don't want anyone.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I don't even want Sancho in the drawer over there, you know? Like, it ain't about that.
Yeah. And that's what I tried to explain to Gary, you know, when I was going through it, and he couldn't get it.
No, they don't.
You know, he was just like, you just don't love me. You just don't want me no more. And I'm like, oh my God, shut up.
So I do think, I just wanted to touch on that really quick. So that's kind of that's our list and where we have, and some of the things that we have been through. But feel free to comment, you know, let us know how you guys are feeling, what you're going through. If we missed something and we need to talk about it, you know, in the next podcast from now, you know, let us know if we missed something big well, please let us know if we missed something big, because what if that means we just haven't got there yet?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, speaking of following up on past podcasts, did you and Gary take your love language quiz?
Nope.
Okay. Well, Chris and I didn't either. I mean, Chris and I kind of know what ours are, time and touch, which seem to be yours and Gary's. But
Gary's is service.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
So
I think I'm almost positive that's what his is.
But to circle back on that, like, we really talked about the 5 love languages and their definitions. But as I mentioned earlier, like, mine is lake time, pool, water, lake, ocean, right? Acts of cruises and vacation.
That's funny.
Food, lavender daiquiris, make me coffee, you know. So I have some kind of more specific love languages, as, you know, if we want to get into acts of service. Make me coffee. Make me a drink.
I'm not a big coffee drinker.
So stuff like that.
Yeah.
So food, Food is always I think that's always a man's love language, right? The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all I got.
Okay. Well,
you got anything? You want to
no.
add anything on the love languages? Did I miss your love is yours is pool, but not lake.
Yeah. Yeah. If I can't see the bottom, I don't want to get in.
Oh, well, okay. So you'll get into the ocean to a point.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
To a point.
Okay.
Yep. And I only like to go to the ocean when it's clear water, like white sand.
So not anything in Texas.
Nope. Nope. And I wish Galveston was clear. I really do.
It's not.
I know it's not.
It's not.
I know.
And we made the mistake one year, and you don't know these things until you do them, right? I mean, as with anything in life. But we just planned a trip to Galveston when the kids were little. Well, apparently May is like the worst time of the year to go to Galveston because something about the Red Sea and the seaweed that flows in, and it was like rushing ashore, and they were trying to keep up with it.
Oh, dang.
And had all this like heavy machinery trying to like move it aside so you could access the beaches and stuff. It was bad. It was bad. So anyways.
Yep. All right. Well, until next week. Listen, this episode will drop Wednesday at 6:30 on all the socials on all the
Spotify, Apple, iHeart,
and Amazon. Yep. And we will eventually get to YouTube.
Maybe.
I already have an account.
Let's not make promises we can't keep.
Well, I already have an account and everything. We just have to.
We have to both be on the same page and actually get dressed and put bras and makeup on.
I know.
That sounds like a lot.
I know. It does. It does.
That's the last thing any woman going through perimenopause and menopause. Peripause. I just call it peripause. All right, guys. It's time to go.
All right. Until next week. Bye.
Have a great one.